How's that sound?
We're on.
Ready? Live?
Yep.
Hi, this is Michelangelo Badio, another installment of No Boundaries. And, I've been doing this show for 3 years already. It's hard to believe. Let's see who we have here coming online. Masako, how are you? And I just love doing this show. This year has been super busy for me. I've been on the road. I started January 3rd, and I did a tour with Manowar for over 2 months. Came back for a couple weeks, went to LA for Sawtooth, then went back on the road to the Electric Guitar Lands tour, 27 shows in 30 days, and then we ended up with Manowar. And hi, Cynthia, how are you? Mohammed. It's been really a fantastic year. And what I wanted to do today is bring a special guest. Hey, Nick, how are you? John, how are you? Greg, a lot of people here. Olaf, yes. And anyway, as you can see to my right is a great friend of mine, and he was my guitar student way back in the old days when I was still a early 20-something guy at the Music Gallery in Highland Park, which is, if you don't know Highland Park, it's basically Beverly Hills of Illinois. I wish I lived there, but it was really a beautiful place. The Music Gallery, the store is still around, and right off Green Bay and Route 22. But I was looking for somebody when we started this, the live streams to that new video, and then all of a sudden, I was going to play a show with Smashing Pumpkins. Adam's working with Smashing Pumpkins. He messaged Doug Marks of Metal Method, right? Is that how it worked?
Doug messaged, I think this zip code area of former customers.
Yes,
which
yes.
I forgot I was. I actually bought all the Metal Method stuff at one point.
Uh-huh.
And I got an email one night that you were looking for someone to do this, and I'm like, I'll do it.
Yeah. And so, it's funny because, my studio is in my home, so I didn't really want anybody that I didn't know. And it turns out, not only do I know Adam, we've known each other for a long time.
Since I was 14.
Yeah. I mean, he was a kid. I remember, and I remember a lot of my students, and I'm really happy because a lot of them have gone on to be really successful in life. And that doesn't just mean career with money and all that, but just generally great people. What we want to do today is just jam out for you. So after I do my initial talk, Joey is ready. Adam is ready. No, but this isn't Adam. This is Robert.
My hands
Adam
don't
is
talk.
ready. But see, Robert, he gets kind of nervous because he almost wanted to speak, but he only speaks. He never talks because he always has a guitar pick. And so, but I can't wait to jam for you. And I just want to say this, that, these shows are sponsored by Sawtooth Guitars, and they have a special going on. And unfortunately, the guitar that they have the special with, I have dropped D because I do a lot of session work, a lot of different artists, and I didn't find out till later today. They have a special on the left-handed version of the ST-M24 in white, and so it is a great guitar. It's one of my go-to guitars, and you've seen me play it many, many times here and on playthroughs, but that's the one. It's the white Sawtooth M24, 24 frets, German Floyd Rose. So that's the one that they have they're promoting, but it's the left-handed version. And one thing, if I've talked about this with Sawtooth, that they have left-handed versions of virtually all their guitars. I'm not going to say 100%, but it's in the 90%. And I'm left-handed. I just happen to play right-handed. But anyway, so, I'm going to limit some of the questions tonight. If you have a really good one and I happen to see it, I do see the questions here. I have a video monitor, but Adam has set the whole thing up. He's the guy.
And hopefully it's all working okay.
What's that?
And hopefully it's all working okay.
Yeah, but we broadcast on Facebook and YouTube. It's a multi-stream. I know we call it live streams, but it's really a multi-stream. Okay, I think we're ready to do one, aren't we?
I think Greg in the chat there needs to check his calendar. Today's Thursday.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Greg,
But
Thursday.
I do that too.
But you know what? It's metal! So it doesn't matter if it's Tuesday or Wednesday. Now listen, you guys. I don't care what day it is. We're gonna shred. Okay, so are you ready, Adam?
I'm ready to do one. Which one do you want to do?
Yeah, rock jam. You want to start it or should I?
You start it.
Okay. Great job. Yeah, that was really fun. I love jamming. And as you can see, Adam was a student of mine when he was a kid. You were 14, right? Yeah, and I remember a lot of my students when, because at the time I would write down what I gave them. I was very meticulous, about making sure that, they were learning. The way I used to teach guitar is I would show them what they liked to learn and what they needed to learn. And, I had no bias. I didn't care what really anybody wanted to play as far as music. I just wanted to show them the techniques. And, but anyway,
a master transcriber too. I would bring him every week. I would wanted to learn songs. That's how, what kept the interest, and Mike agreed with that you teach them what they want to play, and then that keeps them interested. And then teach them the techniques and theories on top of it. I think the second lesson, he showed me the blues scale, and the song I wanted to know at the time was Hair of the Dog by Nazareth, and he transcribed that in minutes and told me what key that's in, and here's how you play the blues scale over that. And I went home and I don't think I stopped playing that blues scale over that song for a week until he came back the next week.
Yeah, because, I always thought when I taught guitar that if you show people just technique and they're just starting out, they're going to get bored because they're not playing anything. They're not playing songs. And so because one of the first questions I asked people was, what do you like? What bands do you like? What artists do you like? What do you listen to? And so I would write that down, and then like Adam said, Hair of the Dog, that's a great song. And I also like, Love Hurts.
Yeah, that's a great song.
And, I transcribed just so many songs. And it was funny because back in those days, tablature was just I know it's been around for centuries, but it was just being established as one of the main ways, really the main way to transcribe guitar music. But I like to teach what people wanted to know, songs they wanted to play that keeps interest. Then you show the techniques, which means they become better. Okay, so let's
fix some techniques too. You noticed right away I was playing with a Fender medium pick, and I was doing a thing where I would flex the pick on the string to try and go fast. And that started the Jazz 3. He's like, you would go a little faster if you used one of these. And he gave me one of his and showed me how to palm mute on here and then anchor my hand here and move. And that started the shred. And I went home and practiced that forever, and then it became like an Olympic sport because it was something I could actually do.
Yeah, and the thing that I used small picks from the very beginning. Even when I was 10 years old, I was using those big Fender heavies, and big Fender thin picks. In fact, I have this pick called a glow pick, and it was actually a when you see like those drawings, like there was an album by a band called Captain Beyond, and it was 3D. I got to show you guys because we're going to still play. Hold on one second. We've got to see this pick.
It's okay. We're in his studio, so it's right over there.
Okay. This is called.
Wow! It's like a prism inside.
It's 3D. I don't know if you can see this.
Probably not, and it'll get blurry. But
up close, it's actually 3D. And if you were familiar with the band Captain Beyond, their first album, they did a 3D graphic and put this thing on. And so this is the very first pick I used. It's so thin, it was flapping around. But this is from 1966. I still have this pick. And so, but it has a lot of the elements that I like, and I kept it. It's the earliest pick that I used in my life, and I still have it. I'm like the keeper of things. But if I wish you know what I'll do? I'm going to take a picture, like a video. It's actually three-dimensional. You can see, you can look inside. And
it's like a hologram.
It's like a hologram. It actually is. And so, but the point is that it was so thin, I didn't like it. And I'm 10 years old. Nobody could tell me why. I started using mandolin picks. They were real little and they were real thick. And then I found out about Jazz 3s and using jazz picks, and I've never stopped. And, then what we did with Sawtooth and Chromacast is we created our own jazz version for metal because it's 1.3 millimeters, little thicker, little brighter. All right, anyway, no more talk. Let's do track 2, Hard Rock.
Hard Rock, okay.
Yes. That was fun.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Rippin'! Yes, we have a good time. And, as you can see, Adam's technique is really good. And, well, he had me as a teacher. What can you say? But, he listened. And, again, it's learning what you like to learn, what you like to play, and learning what you need to know. And I think that was my method of teaching, and it's worked. But also too, kind of Adam, you are like a guitar and pedal aficionado. Kind of explain some of the he has some really cool guitars. Now I have a lot of guitars too.
A lot more than me.
Yeah, you have some cool stuff, but you also have a lot of different pedals. Is that correct?
I got into the standard pedal board because Randy Rhoads. So I used all the regular stuff, basically MXR and Boss. But then I said, everybody's kind of doing that. So I started replacing each pedal I had on my board with something weird. Brand-wise, same pedal. So, why not have a 1970 Morley phaser with the treadle thing that's made out of chrome the size of a toaster oven? I regretted some of these decisions later when I realized the weight that some of these things had and that I had to carry it around. Another thing, everybody's got the Vox Wah-Wah. That's what I had. But there was a brand called Snarling Dogs that kind of went out of business in 1999, and they used a treadle that's the shape of a foot, like from the custom van era where you replaced your gas pedal. Dune buggies had them. Like, why not play one of those? So I used the Bootzilla, Bootsy Collins, because Bootsy's cool, and it's purple, and so I have that Wah-Wah. Went with Pigtronics Chorus, which they made for Dweezil Zappa.
I remember them, yeah.
They're still around. Yeah. They don't make that chorus pedal anymore. It's called the Quantum Time Modulator. The standard delay, El Capistan, everybody uses the El Capistan, I think, or if they don't, you should. Another great thing that I was not into was the preamp boosters. So everybody in the 70s kind of used an EP3 and Echoplex, but not for the Echo. They used it for the JFET preamp that was in that thing, which just made everything sound a little better. And there's a guy, I think he's in Philadelphia, called, I forget his name, but the company is called Chase Tone. And they make the secret preamp. And I saw a G.E. Smith Premier Guitar Rig rundown where he said that that's always on for him. And I'm like, good enough for G.E. Smith, good enough for me. So I use that.
Yeah, and the point is, nowadays so many people use software. So you can look on your computer and you see all this cool vintage stuff that looks amazing on your screen. But when you use it for real, the signal chain and not only what pedals you use, but where you place them. I mean, are they spatial effects? Does it go through the effects loop or not? Or does it go through your main signal chain from your guitar to your amp? And I found that over the years that just the order of the pedals makes a big difference. And that's something that's kind of taken out of the equation a little bit with digital software. But we have found recently, I like, Sawtooth makes great amps. I have nice pedal boards, but I also use digital software. And I found I've been messing around with signal chains on digital equipment, and it works kind of similar. It's not the same. It's not exactly the same, but it's where you place whatever pedal you're using is very important, and it's whether it's in the digital domain or the analog domain. Now, are we ready to do song number 3?
Which one do you want to do?
Okay, in my notes, it's called the Minor Blues Jam.
Yes.
Which means it's nuclear blues!
Is this it? I think that's it right up there. Yes, that is it. Okay, we're ready to go.
I'm ready.
A minor blues.
Yep. Joey just doesn't want to quit. Yeah, it sounds great. Thank you. Yeah, somebody says sounds out of tune. Star Child, give me a break, dude. That's so stupid. I'm sorry to say that. I can say that on live streams. Come on, I'm a nice person, but that's just ridiculous. It's stupid. All right, anyway.
Definitely not out of tune.
Yeah, we are perfectly in tune. The track's in tune. Your brain is out of tune. Okay, anyway, let's try something else. I'm blocking that Star Child guy. Just so you know about my page, I have over 500,000 followers, but I do not tolerate negativity in any way. I just don't. I don't care what people say about me because outside of my own pages, I could care less. Because nobody gets 100%. I don't care if you're Kiss, if you're Guthrie Govan, the greatest anything in the world, David Bowie, somebody's not going to like you, and I'm good with that because you're just in the league with all the other people. But when you come to my page and you think that you can say stuff, I have a lot of people that monitor it, but I just don't tolerate it because I'm a positive person. So you come here like that guy says that. You know, it's like, I don't mind that people don't like a style or, you know, not everybody likes everything. But when you come out and just spout off this stupid stuff, which is stupid gets blocked on my page. Anyway.
What guitar is this?
So, what's that?
What guitar is this? This
That's
is nice.
one of the, it's a Sawtooth Heritage Series relic, and it's really great. Somebody said, what do you think of playing nylon acoustic guitar with your picking technique? That's an interesting thing because when I was young, and I taught guitar, like around the time I was teaching Adam, I was a top session guitarist in Chicago because at that time Chicago had Oprah Winfrey, Jerry Donahue, and was it Phil Donahue? And I'm thinking Jerry Springer. But they had all the daytime TV talk shows. At the time they were super popular, but they were also the TV and radio commercial capital of the United States. And I worked for a big company. So I used to do a lot of nylon string acoustic guitar playing with a guitar pick. They really liked it because I could double piano lines, violin lines, and it had a really good sound. Okay, anyway, let's do the next one. This is Trower, yeah. Okay,
A
now.
long jam for y'all.
Yeah, this is a really cool.
Let's get trippy.
Yeah.
And there's a big intro.
Ready? That was
Hell
fun.
yeah.
That was ripping. All right, we have one more song for you. And I just want to say, too, unfortunately, I'm not playing the guitar tonight, but it is my go-to guitar. I have it in the studio over here. In fact, let me go grab it. Hold on a second. I'll get up again for the second time. I'm going to show you guys, if you can see it, the glow pick. It is literally called a glow. It's GLOPIX. If you can see this up close, it's like a hologram from 1966. Okay.
The sawtooth guitar stays in tune. And I can't believe this is such a cliche. I've shred till I bled. I've literally tore open a callus a little bit.
You know,
Blood,
it's
sweat.
funny. People have told me I don't really have calluses on my fingers. And I can make a joke saying, yes, I play so fast that the fingers are never on the frets long enough. But I don't know what it is about my physical makeup, but I really don't have calluses. I never have. But this is the guitar. This is it's an MAB series. It's the very first one of two signature series that I did. It's got a German made Floyd Rose. We did an Americana, so it's got Seymour Duncan pickups. They're hard mounted to the body, which means they don't have pickup rings that are mounted from the pickup ring. They're mounted on the body. I actually really like the sound of that. And it's an amazing guitar, but we have the left-handed version of this. We got a bunch of them in stock. So if you are lefty or you just want to try to have one half of a double guitar, here's your chance. But they're on sale now. Now, we're going to do one more song. I'm going to set this down.
Denny just asked me a question. What's my favorite pedal? Well, that's kind of tough to say. I'm going to say three. My Bootsy Collins signature Snarling Dog's Wah that isn't in production makes me smile every time I look at it. I'm pretty a big fan of my, it just went out of my head, the Deja Vibe that I have from Dry Bell. And I got to say my friend from Chicago here, Daredevil Pedals, I've got a silver solo of his, which is, I use that for leads. So those are my favorite pedals. So it's three.
Yeah, I have to say mine, Tube Screamer. I've never used a lot of effects, not a lot of wah stuff. And when you hear all my solo albums, the very first couple, No Boundaries, Planet Gemini, up until Lucid Intervals, I would record using the delay settings and everything from my amps. And then what I did is after that, I recorded completely dry, absolutely dry. From like when you hear Hands Without Shadows, that album, and all the other ones subsequently after that, it's completely dry. So we would add effects post, unless there was a wah section. But again, I love wah-wah pedals, I really do. But I just never wanted to express myself that way by going wah, 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 wah. And it's not that I don't like them, it's just, it's not really me. And I don't use them that much. And even with Manowar, I just don't use it. I like the sound that I get without it. Now we have one more song to play, and this one's another fun one to do, but I hope you enjoyed the show today. Adam's a wealth of information about vintage guitars, about pedals. He does all the video to get the Multistream going, and and we're really good friends. And plus,
by trade, I'm a computer person, so I've worked in tech support for 30 years as well as playing guitar. And yes, I do have a liking for all things guitar. If you want to find me, go to Instagram. It's in the link. I've put a link in the description of this video. You can get to my Instagram. It's TURKCHGO at Instagram. I'm also on Twitter, and you can find me there.
Yeah, and but he's super knowledgeable about whether it's computers, video, because we're dealing also with, right now we are using two computers. How many software programs are we using right now?
If you want to know the behind the scenes, we're streaming this from everything recorded is going into Mike's DAW. That is workstation, and then we're piping that into the streaming computer, which is using OBS software, and we're using Restream.io to go to both Facebook and YouTube simultaneously, and I set that up for them.
Yeah, and then I have several sets of monitors here. So we have a set of monitors that we're listening to, but you know, it's all live, it's all in your face. And that's what I love about it. And you know, this is capable with the technology. We're using a really nice Sony camera, and being that we can multi-stream, it goes to YouTube in high definition, which is cool. Because when we used to just do Facebook, Facebook will not allow a high definition video to be saved in high def. So we would have to save it here and then transfer it to YouTube. And of course, all the internet pundits, "What? This is the 21st century, dude. How come you can't make 1080 something, man? It was like too low res." Well, yeah, we know. And you know, but you have a choice. You either do it that way or you don't get it at all. But you know, I'm very much into technology, but I love listening to about pedal boards, and you know, I love analog gear and I love digital. You know, I love new technology, but I'm a very much a student of what has came before. All right, we have one more song to play now. This was on my jam tracks. It's available at Metal Method. And again, I can't say enough about Sawtooth Guitars. I'll be there July 15th for 2 weeks. So we're going to sign a bunch of stuff. And they're a great company, great people. You know, I've gotten to the point in my life, I have a few criteria when I work with people. I mean, as you know, I work super hard and I try to give back. I mean, I give back to you every week, hundreds of lessons that, you know, advice, you know, the world according to Michael. But I like, if I can't work with somebody I like, I don't want to work with them. And you know, even looking at Man of War, Joey DeMaio from Man of War is a genius. And I'm not saying that lightly. He creates his own power amps. He's created a vision for Man of War, and he just happens to have the greatest metal singer you could possibly imagine. Eric is fantastic. And Eric's been with Joey, you know, they've been a team since the beginning, but it's really a pleasure to work with them because he has a vision. He knows exactly what he wants. There's no BS. And when he says something, I know that it comes from a lifetime of experience. And this is the thing, one of many things that I really love about him. He has kept Man of War at an arena level for 40 years. Now, they've gone through different guitar players, different member changes, but I agree with the member changes. And, you know, I just didn't join Man of War. Joey and I worked together recording, and I've worked with him for a couple of years already, but we just didn't say anything. But it just kind of organically happened. We get along, we love the same music. And, you know, the guitar players from the past, you know, if they say, oh, yeah, this is how it's done, this is how... Well, yeah, I respect the music of the past. I play some of the solos exactly like the record, but I also want to be me. And Man of War wants me to be me. The audience wants me to be me. So really, the critics that you hear are really not people that go to the shows. You know, they're the ones, well, I think every solo should be played the same. Well, why? Why should I do every solo when I have more technique and I can do things on a guitar that they couldn't do? And so it doesn't mean that I do every song. Like, for example, Battle Hymn, I play the solo exactly like the record. Immortal, I play the solo virtually exactly like the record. I take bits and pieces of all the classic parts of the solos. So every song that I play with Man of War, there's parts of the solos that I play. But somebody mentioned a really good analogy that I'm like Richie Blackmore playing this. Blackmore didn't always do 100% of his own solos. He played some of it, but then he improvised live, because why not? It's live. It's in your face. Why not? Look at that. Now, I want to also say one thing. We have one more song to do. This is a song that I created 10 jam tracks, and it's available on Metal Method, and I can't say enough about Doug Marks and Metal Method. I love working with Doug. I've never switched video companies ever. I've been with Metal Method since Speed Kills and never left. I'm a loyal person. And I don't switch companies. I don't talk about things just to try and sell something. I have to believe in what I'm talking about, or I can't talk about it. And I think that's why I have credibility. All right, Adam, are you ready?
I'm just
Let's
going
do
to
this.
humble brag real quick. Those, other than the obvious Robin Trower song that we just did, it's not my magnum opus, but the first 3 backing tracks were written, recorded, and produced by me. Those are my songs, so I did that. This one's his from a record CD he did a long time ago. Those first 3 were all me. I recorded all that. And
Yeah.
those are my songs.
And I wanted Adam to do it. Why not? He's a great guitar player. And, I've always believed in a win-win scenario. And, it was a hard lesson in life for me to learn that some people want you to lose. I didn't know that. I was naive when I was very young. I always thought everybody thought like me. Oh, yeah, I'm happy for your success. And I found I actually had people tell me, and one pretty well-known guitarist, that he hopes I fail because that I would set guitar, I would create a new trend for guitar. And I thought, that's the weirdest thing I've ever, I can't even comprehend that. I try to help, but there are people in this world that don't. And why am I saying this? Why not? I wanted Adam to create tracks. He's a great guitar player. He did it. And let's tear this one up. It's called Wishes. right.
yeah.
Yes, that was a lot of fun. I'd like to thank Adam.
Thank you.
Usually he's behind the scenes working all the video, making sure there's no latency and all the other stuff that goes behind it. But I think that this is a really fun live stream, and you got to see way more playing than talking. But there's always the world according to Mikey, Joey, Robert, and you got to hear Adam's take. If you want to, Adam's a wealth of information himself. So his information is on the page, like you said.
In the comments, you can find me on Instagram. Google my name and you'll find my Facebook too. And other things I've done.
Great.
Also, I'm for hire, so.
Exactly. My dad used to say, if you're not going to blow your own horn, nobody's going to do it for you. Now, it sounds obscene, but it's true. If you don't promote yourself, no one's going to promote you. And, I touched upon a subject I don't talk about, win-win scenarios versus win-lose. There are just a certain amount of people that want to see you lose. I'm not one of them. I want to see you win. I'm a win-win person. And, it's something that why I love to give back. And, I thought today it's better just to shut up and play guitar for a lot of tracks than just to talk. But Sawtooth is a great company. The left-handed version of the STM24 in white is on sale now. And so check it out, sawtoothworld.com. They own the company Chromacast, strings, picks, straps, anything you can imagine. So anyway, next week I'm going to be in Montana with the drummer Rob Ross that played on No Boundaries and Science Fiction and 2X Again. And what's that? What's that?
On Wishes?
What's that?
Wishes.
Oh, we have one more song?
Was he on Wishes?
Oh, no, he wasn't. That was a drummer in England. That was actually done through Lick Library, who's a very big company. But we're going to try. We can't guarantee this. We're bringing two Sawtooth acoustics with us because Rob is not only a great drummer, but he's a really good guitar player too, especially rhythm, and he can sing, and I can sing too. So we're going to try and do a live stream in the middle of nowhere in Montana. If we have cell service, you're going to see a live stream from Montana next week. I'm going on vacation starting tomorrow. But anyway, thanks to each and every one of you. Win-win. I'm Michelangelo Badio.
I'm Adam Turetzky.
See ya.
Now this is going to be really weird. Mike's going to sit there and look pretty because I have to go across the room to turn this off.
I'm ready. I'm the star of the show. It was I, me. Who do you want to see? Joey's the ultimate narcissist. Shut up.